Caitlin Clark's star power is undeniable. A South Jersey sportswriter chronicled her ascent, and the history behind it. The history of women's basketball in Iowa is a century deep. For longtime sports journalist and author Howard Megdal, detailing that history is crucial to understanding Caitlin Clark, the Hawkeye sensation who now stars for the WNBA's Indiana Fever. Megdal's 8th book, Becoming Caitlin Clark, The Unknown Story of a Modern Basketball Superstar, comes out June 17. It looks at Clark's rise to stardom in context of the history of women's basketball in the state of Iowa. Megdal, from Cherry Hill, will make 4 book signing appearances across Philadelphia and South Jersey. He will be at the Cherry Hill Public Library at 7 p.m. on June 18, the Marlton Barnes & Noble at noon on June 22, Headhouse Books at 6:30 p.m. July 9, and the Brotherly Love Card Show at Congregation Bethel in Cherry Hill from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on July 13. Clark's stardom. Megdal knew he wanted to write a book on Clark when she started her college career at Iowa in the 2020-21 season. From his time reporting on women's college basketball for various outlets, Megdal had an understanding of Iowa as a women's hoops hotbed. He also recognized that Clark had an opportunity to become a national phenomenon. Seeing the trajectory of Clark, and simultaneously seeing and knowing from my own separate reporting what brought us to this moment, it felt to me increasingly like we were seeing these threads fuse. Megdal said. I thought it required a book-length study of it in order for people to understand why this was happening now. Megdal has written 7 other books, but none on subjects as high-profile as Clark. He was compelled by Clark's ascent to stardom to document this moment in women's basketball and compare it with the past. It was blowing up in real time. As I'm doing it, Megdal said, there is this sense that there is something very significant in the now that you have to capture at the same time as capturing what came before. Meet the South Jersey sportswriter who's literally written the book on women's basketball. Iowa's history. The book looks at the origins of basketball in high schools across Iowa and chronicles Clark's stardom with the Fever. Megdal's book covers more than 100 years of basketball history in Iowa. That includes current Hawkeyes coach and former Drake point guard Jan Jensen and her grandmother, Dorcas Anderson. Anderson was a star high school player in the early 1920s and kept diaries of her time playing 6-on-6 girls basketball in Iowa. Jensen made them available to Megdal, who was struck by the similarities between Anderson's diary and the journeys of modern athletes, being able to look into them and see the same push and pull Megdal said of basketball, and living off the court, and taking basketball seriously, and the fear of having it taken away that is still present today was remarkable to me. The fact that we are, in so many ways, telling the same story here, just in different circumstances. One of the players Megdal spoke with extensively for the book was Molly Boland-Kazma, who played 6-on-6 high school basketball in Iowa and 5-on-5 college basketball at Grandview. Kazma, known in her playing days as Molly Boland, was the first player to sign a contract with the short-lived Women's Professional Basketball League in 1978. Playing for the Iowa Cornets, Kazma served as the face of the WBL for the 3 seasons it existed. Now, Kazma is part of Legends of the Ball, Inc., a non-profit that promotes and preserves the history of the WBL. Through the organization, Kazma travels to women's basketball events across the country and educates fans on the origins of professional women's basketball.